We love to see all of the parents standing up against gender ideology, and we love to see legislators passing bills to protect kids from activists, doctors, and teachers and therapists. It's a whole other level when we see kids themselves standing up against it. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate your continued support, and I hope that you are subscribed as well. On my channel, I like to talk about current events, news, politics, pretty much anything that is going on in the world that piques my interest and that I think just needs another opinion, particularly one of logic, reason, and sanity. So I would love your support of my channel. Please hit the like button, leave your thoughts about the topic in the comment below, and share it with others if you feel like it's worth sharing. Also, be sure to head on over to Rumble and find me there under Outspoken Samantha in the event that YouTube decides I have violated their community standards and chooses to kick me off their platform forever. That being said, let's get into today's topic. You know, it's interesting because a common tweet or comment that I see at least a couple of times a day across social media are from people that see us criticizing people like Dylan Mulvaney or wanting to pull gender ideology out of schools or just being really outspokenly against this issue. And they say, why can't you just let people, be themselves? Why can't you just let people live how they want to live? Like, why do you care so much about what other people do? And of course, the answer to that is because they do not want to let us live our lives the way that we want to live them. They're not letting us raise our kids the way that we want to raise them. The goal is to put this into every single aspect of our lives and not let us escape from it. We see it in preschool, we see it in elementary school, we see it in middle school, we see it in university, we see it in commercials, we see it in cartoons and movies and products and brands. It is everywhere. So the issue is not why we can't let them live their lives. Why can't they let us live our lives? And I love to see all the parents that are showing up to school board meetings and speaking out against it and demanding that teachers get back to actually focusing on academics and also sharing their stories that confirm the fact that activist teachers and therapists and counselors and everybody else that is just completely immersed in this indoctrination is transitioning kids behind parents' backs, that they are doing these things, causing immeasurable harm to children in the process. Parents are showing up to call them out for it, to call it for what it is, to call it out for the predatory behavior that it is. And as much as I love to see all of that, what I've seen a couple of times lately are kids actually rejecting it themselves, actually protesting against it themselves. I saw this video on Twitter, and this is from a high school in Toronto, Canada. And then there's this next one that I saw, and I couldn't figure out exactly where this was, but essentially kind of the same thing happens. And I know that the trans activist side is going to say that we're teaching our kids to be transphobic and we're teaching them to reject their peers and reject people that have these different identities, and we're teaching them to be hateful, which is absolutely insane. It's not what we're doing, because here's the thing. I don't have to teach my kid to not be transgender. I don't have to teach them to reject transgenderism or gender ideology or to reject anybody. I have a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an almost 12-year-old. And I am aware that they know what these issues are. They know what these terms are. They have a general understanding of what it is. What I don't have to do is I don't have to sit down and tell them that transgenderism is wrong. I sit down and talk to them about how important truth is, that it is important to understand the difference between reality and things that are not real, the importance of valuing truth and recognizing truth and understanding how destructive lies can be. And I don't have to have a conversation with them about sexuality or gender identity or any of this at all for them to have that basic understanding and to have that foundation. Because if you can instill a foundation of truth truth and honesty and reality in your kids, that is going to be the best preparation for them to face these issues. They are going to be able to discern between truth and lies, between fact and fiction. And they're going to be able to recognize when someone is actually trying to harm them with things that are not true. But the thing that's different about the conversations that I have with my kids versus the conversations that they have with their peers is that we know that especially in teenage years, that peers have such a strong hold on our kids. Their friends do have an influence over their lives. And that is why we prefer for our kids to make friends with good people that are making good decisions. And I've seen so many stories of parents coming forward and talking about how their teenage daughter specifically, because this seems to be something that teenage girls are particularly prone to, they chose a gender identity through a conversation that they were having with their friends or through the influence of their friends. And we've heard from whistleblowers from gender clinics that will say that a group of teen girls will come in at the same time and they're all friends and ask for things like hormones and puberty blockers together. They'll sit down and have a conversation with their friends about what gender identity they want to pick, because just being a straight female with nothing else to offer is not as exciting as picking a gender identity. It doesn't give you as much attention. It's not what your friends are doing, so this is what you're going to do. So it is a social contagion. And if we can shift the social contagion to have our kids influence their friends to adhere to truth, to know that they are supported in just being themselves, in just being a boy or a girl, I think that's going to have the biggest impact on the direction that this goes. These kids are not acting out of hate. They're not acting out of bullying. They're not doing anything to harm their peers. They are standing up for truth and for what's right and for facts, and they are wanting to take their spaces back and to stop having this stuff just relentlessly pushed on their brains. And I also find it funny that trans activists will say that kids will do things like this out of hate or because somebody influenced them to do it, but they don't see the fact that there's so much influence in kids becoming transgender, that there's so much manipulation and so much programming that goes into teaching kids to be transgender. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I hope that you have a wonderful Friday. Please like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, share it with others. Also, be sure you are subscribed to my channel, help me to grow this channel, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video, and I will see you in the next one.